Yellow perch are found in lakes, rivers, ponds, and streams across the Midwest. Yet only a handful of these fisheries routinely produce world-class fishing. Up next, fish heads Jon Thelen and fellow guide Jeff Sundin offer their thoughts on what makes the perfect perch fishery.
Out there. There he is, got him.
Uh-oh. Looks like a good one.
Yeah, you know what? This one feels like it might be pretty decent, Jeff. I think one of the number one questions that I get asked is how do you find, number one, good jumbo perch water? Look at that one. That's how you like to start a pike trip or a perch trip right there. But how do I find good jumbo perch water? And then how do we find spots on those waters? And that's what we're going to talk about today. And first thing I'll tell you is this. What you're looking for in lakes is you're looking for lakes that are really fertile. I mean, a jumbo perch like this right here, he needs a fertile body of water. And here's why. He's constantly eating. He needs a body of water where there's food everywhere throughout the system. And usually what that means is it's going to be more of your greenish algae bloom type lakes. Very seldom will you find a really big population of jumbo perch in areas where you have clear water. But where the water's a little bit dirty or it's seemingly dirty, what that means is it's fertile. There's a lot of things going on in the system. There's algae blooms that take place and the whole food chain survives off of that. And that's in turn, that tells you it's very fertile water. So fish like this one right here, they're gonna thrive there and they're gonna grow. Sounds like we got some sleet starting to hit the roof now. I mean, it's a nasty day out there, but I'll tell you what, the perch are starting to bite right away. And you can see, look at this. He's got a chewed up minnow in his mouth, which tells you right from the get-go that this fish is already eaten this morning. He's running all over eating. So we drop down on a school of fish that's ready to go. That's a great start right there.
Tentative. Okay, take it now. Oh, there we go. Got him.
I'm glad one of us got him. He was driving me about
took
nuts.
a little bit of work.
At least not my screen cleaned up.
I don't think he feels real big. You know, a lot of times what people think about is where to catch perch and how to find them. But if you really want to find them, you got to think about it from the bottom up. You know, for most of their lives, perch occupy the bottom end of the food chain. Nature's got a way of providing millions and millions of perch because they feed everything in the lake. But what these fertile lakes do is give those little perch something to eat, and it gets them big fast so that they can get past that being just food for other fish, and then they become the predator, and that's what grows them. This fish here, that one's on his way to being a nice big fish. We'll just put that one back right now, and then maybe next year, 2 years, that thing will be a jumbo.
Let me show you what we're using today because there's a whole bunch of different baits you can throw down there for perch, but I'll tell you, when you're hunting for big perch like we are today, jumbos, I don't think you can beat a spoon, and there's a lot of different spoons out there, but one of my favorites is a frosty jigging spoon, and let me tell you why. This is one of those spoons that it's not a very intrusive spoon. If you look at this thing, it's got a slender profile. It's got a pretty slow drop to it. It doesn't have rattles in it. It's got a lot of flash. And all said and done, that really fits what a perch is looking for a lot of times, because we've all seen it where you'll have perch come in and you'll be jigging really, really aggressively. And for some reason, you'll spook a bunch of them off. That'll happen on any given day. But this spoon doesn't seem to do that. And it's also a great spoon when you're in one of those cold front situations and you need to slow things down and get rid of that rattle. The other thing is, if you notice, we're fishing big baits because we're trying to get after the bigger perch. You know, if we drop a tungsten toad down there or a smaller bait, there's a good chance that we're going to catch more of those small little guys. Right now, we're hunting for those, so fishing a spoon is the best way to go, and this frosty jigging spoon really fits the bill.
Take it. There we go. Got him. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like a better one, huh? Man, I'll tell you what, this is one of those mornings where we are having to work fish. Oh yeah, that's a great jumbo right there. We're having to work them, and you can tell, I mean, there's a lot going on. The house is flapping around a little bit today. We've got an east wind, and east wind usually means one thing: there's storms coming, and we knew it, so we got out here early this morning just to try to get a jump on it and get ahead of it. You look at the lake we're fishing today, though, and when we talk about a fertile lake, you know, what is a fertile lake? A fertile lake has two things. A fertile lake has weed growth, and if you have weed growth, here's what that does. It gives fish cover, it gives off oxygen, and it allows the whole system to be healthy. But then there's another thing that this lake that we're on today has, and that is soft bottom. Right off of that first break, all the way around this lake. Here, I'll throw that one right in the bucket for you, buddy. That's a great perch right there. But right off of that first break, when you leave those weed beds and you slide off 12, 13, 14 feet, you get down into soft bottom. And when you find soft bottom, here's the thing. Now you have a lake that the whole food chain can roll. And here's why. Out here we end up with algae blooms. We get a lot of that greener water. But here's the other thing we get. We get all kinds of bug hatches. And when you get bug hatches, you've got larvae and all the different things needed to make the whole system roll. And like Jeff was talking about earlier, these perch can grow big because they have this huge base of food. It might be bugs, it might be larvae, it's minnows. The minnows are very, very plentiful in here because they have plenty of food with all the algae. So keep that in mind when you're thinking about what are you looking for when you're looking for a lake that is really fertile. Usually it'll have those attributes. It'll have hard bottom, weeds, soft bottom. It'll also have algae blooms. If you can find all that, put all that together, you're gonna find a perch factory pretty much 9 times out of 10.
Come on. Uh-oh, here comes one. Take it, take it, take it, take it. Got him.
Ooh,
got him.
That looks like a good one, huh?
Doesn't feel too bad at all.
Boy, that was great. I watched you do that on my screen. I went way up high. You went way up high. Oh, yeah.
What's wrong with that?
That's a great jumbo right there. Man, it just goes to show you that sometimes you just do something erratic down there.
Yeah.
I mean, Jeff just pulled that about 4 feet up, and that fish just come barreling up and nailed it. That's just another great jumbo. What a great day of fishing. And I'll tell you what, you can go do this. It's pretty simple. You know, there's plenty of lakes out there that we all know about that hold a whole bunch of perch. But let me tell you, you can find lakes like what we're on today that also have great perch populations. Just look for these fertile bodies of water. These bodies of water with some soft bottom, some hard bottom, some weeds. And you know what you'll find along with them? A whole bunch of jumbo perch, few walleyes, few pike, few bass, whatever it is you're looking for. Lakes like this just flat out hold fish. Let me throw that one in the pail for you. That's a nice fish right there.